Hello all you wonderful people, this is honeymaysims and welcome back to my channel and another speed build. So today we are trying out the Dino Shell Challenge by Lil Simsy, and if you watched my last shell challenge build I think it was for the Sunny Simsy shell, I mentioned that I'm not particularly fond of shell challenges because they can be quite restrictive and you can't really change the walls or anything. But I finally decided to try out again, so I found this on the gallery and I started building in Newcrest at first, but we're going to move this over to Oasis Springs soon, so I wasn't too sure what type of build or style I wanted to go for, but I played around with these eco lifestyle dividers and then it just became a more modern desert build. I'm not the biggest fan of how plain the front of the house is in the end, but I really enjoyed doing this challenge, and for once I think the interior actually turned out better than the exterior, and I feel like I always enjoy doing exteriors more than the inside, but for this one it's the opposite, so yeah, don't miss out on the interior for this one, and especially the kitchen. So when I was doing screenshots, I immediately got a very pretty photo and I just love how the colors and everything turned out in that kitchen. In the end, this build is on the 30 by 20 Springscape Lot in Oasis Springs. It will have 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, a kitchen, living space, a laundry room and a storage room, as well as a backyard with a pool and barbecue and an art studio / office in the basement. So I read in the description of the challenge on the gallery that there was a basement that you'd have to include as well, and for this one I wasn't too sure what to put in it as well, but I quickly wanted to make these Sims into art and stuff as I was decorating, so I thought an art studio would be the perfect fit for this family. And they also have a lot of computers in their house, I realized, so one in the master bedroom, one in the art studio, and one in this kind of working nook in the upstairs hallway by the stairs. So they might be very ambitious and hardworking family, and they wanted to have enough space to work and also for their kid as well. So there is a small kid's bedroom on the second floor as well. And in the end, with the screenshots, you'll see how the floor plans turned out if you're interested to see. So I kind of did this build on a whim since I was missing some posts on my Instagram between my recent room build and the long speed build I'm posting sometime early next week, I believe, which is for a big collab. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little build too, even though I was kind of hoping for a shorter speed build, but it turns out this was quite long as well as I was editing, and I think that's kind of usual, just like how I am. I think kind of a slow builder sometimes, like I go back and forth a lot. I'm not sure exactly what I'm building or doing, so I think that's maybe why my builds or my videos are kind of long. But I tried to cut out some of the maybe not so interesting parts, and yeah. And I'm also really thankful for the questions I got on my Q&A for that long speed build video as well, so I have to do the voiceover for that one soon, and I'm really excited to jump into it and answer some of your questions. And yeah, I've also been hosting a room or loft challenge on my own for the past 3 months, I think. It's kind of long. And yeah, it's finally ending on April 22nd, which is my birthday, so I think I'll have to take that into consideration for the next one, that the deadline was so far away. But at least I think of doing a video on my favorite entries for that one, maybe around 5 to 10 entries, and I'll go through them, talk about what I like about them, and yeah, give some shout outs to some of you talented simmers out there. But first I have to go through all of them, which I think will take a little time, but I'm really crossing my fingers I'll have this announcement and video up on Sunday the 24th, if I'm lucky enough to get it out by then. But yeah, so if you still haven't checked out the challenge and want to make an entry, you still have some time left. The hashtag is hashtag honeymayloft on the gallery, and the rules should be explained both there but also on my Instagram page if you scroll a little down to find that post. So let's talk a little bit more about the build. So I put in a lot of these eco lifestyle dividers, as I mentioned earlier. Like, I put them all around the house and some of the inside as well. So I put some by the front door, and I used tool mod to kind of rotate them so they're going sideways and above the entry to kind of make it look more interesting, I would say. And I also used the same idea for the drive-in to, yeah, for the debug car as well. And I think this white car is probably one of my favorites to use. That one along with the white one that came with Get Together, but also Cottage Living has some really cute ones I love to use. So we are already working on some of the inside, like I put out the stairs I wanted to have. So I would have to use one for the second floor and then one to the basement. And I kind of struggled to put the stairs for the basement because I thought I would fit one beneath the other one, but I was one tile short to do that. So I kind of had to make up a plan B. So I kind of just put them right by the wall to not take up too much space, and I also put the dividers here to kind of break up the room a little bit. And yeah, I think this solution ended up quite nicely as well, I would say. And I was quite, I would say, relieved that I kind of figured out a second way to do it. So I did end up using some platforms for both the inside and outside, so kind of like a step up to the entrance and also for the backyard door. I kind of used the platforms by the entry to make, you know, a little cozy entryway with a space you can put up your shoes, you can look in the mirror, hang up your clothes and everything. And it's also right by the stairs, so it's easy to just go upstairs if you want to. And also by that stairs there's going to be the small living room, which I think turned out cute with the little space I had. And also in between the living room and the kitchen on the far right hand, and there's going to be a dining room. And yeah, as I said, the kitchen is going to be my favorite room in this build. So I did use this idea to kind of use quarter tiles to make a more interesting pattern on the floor. So I think I ended up using the spa day tiling, which is probably one of my favorite tiles to use, just like in bathrooms and sometimes kitchens. So yeah, I used the basic white one and then I combined it with this really calming blue color, and I think it fits really well with the Dream Home Decorator counters. And yeah, I'm really satisfied with how all of the colors are kind of matching. So this wood color, white, and then blue. So I got to use this corner counter that I really like, that has, you know, that little glass doors so you can see some of the plates and everything. And I also used this idea that I've used a lot recently to do double stoves. So I basically just used a counter, put the oven in, and then raised it out with the 9 key, I would think, or Alt plus 9. And I used some of the cabinets that goes with this counter set, but I also used some of the base game shelves, like just a basic white one, to just put a lot of clutter and some nice things up on there to break it up as well. And I think it's really nice to have just these big windows, but maybe just for the game and maybe not so much for real life, I would think. Or what do you think? Would you like really big windows looking out to your backyard in the kitchen in your house? I think it would be really nice to kind of get a lot of natural light in, but I'm not really sure. But at least it's nice hair. So I also used some of the divider hair as well, just behind that one counter, so it breaks up from the backyard exit. And I also used tool to rotate one of the tiny living pictures, so it looks like it's leaning against the wall here on top of that one shelf. And I just found a lot of nice kitchen clutter to put all around this place. And also by the kitchen I had some extra space, and so I decided to use it for a laundry room. And yeah, it's just really simple. I put in the laundry day washing and drying machine, put some shelves in here, and also that laundry hamper from Eco Lifestyle, which is one of my favorite items to use from that pack actually. I just love the, that realistic touch that it adds to your homes. And yeah, so I'm putting in the dining room here, and it goes in between the kitchen and living room, as I said earlier. And I also put some of these Eco Lifestyle leaning photos against the dividers and the basement stairs, so that also goes really well with the theme that these Sims are into art, so they have kind of just art around everywhere to showcase, and yes, some art on the wall as well. And I also love this plant swatch that the tiny living photos have, so I used some of these here as well. And also used some of these low bookshelves that came with Dream Home Decorator as well. So it's pretty simply decorated, but I ended up really liking it. And I hope you do too. So for the dining room, I used this one dining table from Get Famous actually, and it has a wood swatch that matches really well with the rest here. And I used the Dream Home Decorator chairs, and I put these nice flowers from Eco Lifestyle on top of the table, and it has this blue and beige swatch that also matches really well. So I'm really satisfied with how well everything matches. And I also used this white base game lamp, which almost has like this lantern texture, I would say, like you would see in maybe some Asian lanterns. And I also think this one has like a cherry blossom swatch as well, so yeah. But at least here I ended up using the white one, and yeah. So you saw that I was working on the bathroom earlier, and it's just really simple. So I put the tiny living toilet, the sink from Dream Home Decorator, the shower from Spa Day, and the mirror is from Snowy Escape, so it's a nice little mix of some packs in there. And the rug is from Parenthood, and I absolutely love using this one in bathrooms because it has some of the cutest swatches, and that rug also matches really well with the bathtub, or the bathtub and shower combo that comes with Parenthood as well, which is one of my favorites. But yeah, here we used the Spa Day shower. And I also did the little entryway, as you saw earlier, with mirror and shoes, and yeah, the place you can put up your clothing and everything, so really simple. And then we have moved on to the living room. So I used some of these really cute box shelves from Dream Home Decorator. I love using these ones. They are very versatile, I would say, so you can use them basically anywhere and for many styles as well. So here I just put a little base game flower, which I just love using. You probably see that flower everywhere. Like you just saw, I put a sized version of it under these stairs. I also put some books, and I also use some debug items like the TV controller and also some headphones. And I also believe I put in the City Living game console below the television as well later. And yeah, just the sectional couches from Dream Home Decorator, which are some of my favorites. And we're moving on to some of the backyard. So right after going out the exit by the kitchen, you'll go out to this little nook where you can barbecue and prepare food and everything, and there are couches here so you can get really comfortable while either you're cooking food or you have some guests over or just enjoying time with the family. Yeah, I also put a nice place to eat just by the pool here with the umbrella. And yeah, I'm also going to put in some lounging chairs so you can, you know, suntan or just enjoy some drinks and everything by the pool, which I think sounds really relaxing right now. And in the backyard you can also see that I put in some tiling going from the front of the house to the back, so just in case you don't want to go through the house, you also have the opportunity to just go straight to the back, and it's probably easier than to, you know, take off your shoes and then putting them back on, or, you know, going through the house with dirty shoes, which that's a big no-no where I'm from. Like, you always take off your shoes when you enter a house. And I think that's always kind of bizarre when I see that in, you know, pictures or films or something like that from other places. And yeah, maybe especially in America, I'm not really sure how accurate that is, but sometimes you see it and not really an etiquette where I come from. You always have to take off your shoes, and it's maybe just in rare cases where you just, you know, you forgot something where you would go pick it up. But other than that, it's always I would say respectful, especially if you're going over to someone's house, to take off your shoes so you don't make someone's floors dirty. But it's also nice to just do it in your own home as well. So yeah, let me know if you do it differently where you're from. I also know in especially like Asian countries, you take off your shoes and you maybe put on slippers or something like that. And that sounds really comfortable as well. But I think I always just take off my shoes and walk around in my socks. Or if it's really hot, like in summer, there's a rare case I would go, you know, without any socks. But yeah, at least in this house you have the possibility to go to the backyard if you want to. And I've just talked over like the master bedroom, but as you can see, I put in a big double bed, and there's also, you know, a wardrobe, there's a mirror and that little poof where you can maybe sit on or place some items on. And there's also this long table which fit really nicely into that little corner. So I put a chair there and a PC. So the family also has some room to work there if they want to, away from everything else, but they could also do that in the art studio, which we're coming up a little later. And I'm working on the little kids' bedroom and putting some emphasis on the little room here. But I thought I would make a cute little custom, you know, shelving system and everything, and where they could put their clothes and also some toys. And I also love the idea of putting the dinosaur artwork here, so it fits really nicely with the Oasis Springs theme. So we're moving on to the art studio, and I also wanted to have this, you know, get-together wardrobe, or you could use it for storage space, I would think. I just put in this big city living bookshelf, and I put a lot of like little clutter and stuff on it, and also this cork board, which I eventually put some posters on it. I think some artwork posters from base game, which you can unlock, I would think, from a courier or something. And I also had the idea to put a platform in there as well to make it look more interesting. And I also used this island living wallpaper that I kind of use all over the house with this white wallpaper. And there's a lot of things in this basement that has, you know, a connection to art. So some statues, artwork, the easel, and yeah, also eventually a table with the computer. There's going to be some letters by it, so maybe this person has some fans, or you know, it's work related mail. And I also ended up using the Dream Home Decorator board, where it has, you know, some interior stuff pinned to it and stuff. But yeah, I thought it would fit nicely here as well. This sketch pad I also used, it would fit really nicely for this person, so they can not only use the easel but the sketch pad as well to work on. And since there was some available space between the shelving here, I decided to use the Get to Work TV, which I think is very nice, and I don't use it as often as I would, but I decided to, you know, just fit it in there. We're coming up to the screenshot soon, so I want to thank you so much for hanging out with me today. As always, you can find this build on the gallery. My ID is Owlrick, but you can also find it under the hashtag honeymaysims. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe for more content, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on anything in the future. I hope you all have an amazing day, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!